Royal correspondent Cameron Walker has all the juicy details.
Well, yes, they did talk.
Ooh.
There's photographic evidence of them talking.
On the front page of a newspaper.
Yes, in the Mail on Sunday. The Director of Communications of Buckingham Palace, one of the King's right-hand men, Tobin Andre, meeting Meredith Mains, who is basically Harry and Meghan's right-hand woman, and their new UK PR person, who's a guy called Liam Maguire. They were photographed at a private members' club just a stone's throw from Buckingham Palace on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm told Sussex camp, at least, are very frustrated with the leak. At Buckingham Palace, who never do, are not commenting. But it's a huge coincidence that the paparazzi photographer just happened to be there to capture the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. When I do, I will, of course, bring you guys up to date.
Tell me this, get to the bottom of this for me. If I'd appointed new PR people to represent me in the UK, what change of tack are they going to take? What are they going to say? Look, Harry, let's start again. Here's what we're going to do.
Well, I don't think they would have taken that meeting without Prince Harry's blessing. So Harry, I think, and the King, I think, want to have some kind of reconciliation here. Now, if there is some kind of reconciliation, it's very much only preliminary meetings.
I noticed you said Harry and the King. You didn't say Harry, the King and William.
And William. No, William's team not at that meeting. A number of the papers reporting this morning that Prince William's team were not invited. I know that people close to Prince Harry have not met those close to William. I think the first step is going to have to be the King, because His Majesty clearly loves his son. Prince Harry has said on the record that he wants to reconcile with the King, but Prince Harry has also said that certain members of his family will not forgive him for Spare and the Netflix series and so on and so forth. He didn't specify which members of his family, but when I speak to people close to William, when you mention Harry to them, the barriers go up. So I think that's going to be much tougher for Harry to break through, which is why the first step really is going to be the King. So I think it's more about, making sure there's no diary clashes or coming up with perhaps some preliminary discussions as to a way that they could see each other. For example, Prince Harry is expected to be here in September for the World Child Awards, one of his patronages here in the UK. And then, of course, looking ahead to Invictus Games in 2027. Is that a chance for a proper public reconciliation?
Didn't Harry extend an invite to all his family to the Invictus Games?
Yeah, that's what we're led to believe. So email invitations went out and formal invitations will go out a little bit later on. Of course, the King's diary and Prince William's diary are booked up months, if not, years in advance. Hence, the invitations have gone out quite so quickly. I'm getting a sense that Prince Harry's team is wanting to perhaps pivot here and change tack. They don't want to create more wars, I don't think. So I think watch this space. As I said, very early days, and we'll have to wait and see. But it's a promising step that three people from both teams are talking at the same time.
Cameron, I hate to go down the Yoko Ono theory route, but what about the women involved in this?
Well, Catherine and Meghan.
Yes.
Well, Meghan is clearly very, prioritising at the moment her business, as ever, in California. Clearly, she's going to want what's best for her husband, Prince Harry, but Prince Harry won't let her come to the UK, even if she wanted to, because of a security issue. And at the moment, that's at a stalemate. Either Harry goes to the Supreme Court to try and get the downgrading of his security overturned, or he successfully lobbies the government to change the law. At the moment, we don't have any details on either of those things. So Meghan coming back to the UK, unlikely as things stand.
Do you think Catherine will ever forgive Meghan over some of the revelations in the interviews in the book?
Well, we haven't heard much from Catherine or those close to her about what she thought of the book or any of it. We've heard, from people close to William saying he was deeply upset. Catherine, I feel like maybe could be a bridge one day. We'll see. I think she's got enough on her plate with 3 young children and recovering from cancer.
Recovering from cancer, yeah, indeed. Cameron, thank you very much. Cameron Walker there on the Royal...
Oh, my beautiful Royal Sussex Squad family, welcome back. Welcome back to the only place where we celebrate love, authenticity and real courage in the face of an establishment that has tried time and again to tear down our beloved Harry and Meghan. Buckle up, grab your tea or your favourite glass of wine, because today's story is about to take you on a ride you won't forget. Now let's talk about this new article. Oh yes, the same old tired headlines they try to spin over and over, trying desperately to pit brother against brother, husband against wife, father against son. You'd think by now they'd realise we're not buying it. But guess what? We're going to break this down the Sussex Squad way, with receipts, with heart, and with that unwavering love for Harry and Meghan. We've all seen the headlines. Prince William and Harry's feud could spark a republic, incalculable damage to the monarchy, Harry and Meghan seeking revenge. Oh, please, spare me the dramatics. Let's look at what's really going on here. A so-called royal expert, Andrew Norman Wilson to be exact, claims that the ongoing rift between Prince William and Prince Harry could lead to a constitutional crisis, perhaps even to the birth of a republic in the UK. Imagine that. But you know what? If telling the truth and standing up for one's family and mental health is what causes a so-called crisis, then maybe it's time the institution took a long, hard look in the mirror. Because here's the thing. Harry didn't wake up one day and decide to walk away from his family and duties. No, he was pushed. He was pushed by the relentless bullying of the press, by a cold and callous establishment that refused to protect him and his wife. Meghan, our Duchess of Success, was subjected to racism, misogyny, and constant harassment. And where was the so-called family that should have had her back? Silent, complicit. And now we have Wilson trying to rewrite history, calling Harry the wayward, disloyal, maddening younger sibling. Excuse me? Let's get one thing straight. Harry has been nothing but loyal. Loyal to the truth, loyal to his wife, loyal to his mother's memory, and loyal to his own sense of integrity. This narrative they keep pushing about Harry being disloyal is just a smokescreen to hide the fact that he exposed the rotten core of an institution that has long survived by silencing, controlling and gaslighting anyone who dares to step out of line. Now let's talk about these so-called peace talks. Oh yes, representatives from King Charles and Harry met in London, and you best believe that had Meghan's fingerprints all over it. Not because she forced Harry to do anything, but because she is his true partner. She supports him, lifts him up and helps guide him toward healing and resolution. Unlike some other people in that family who'd rather leak stories to the press than have an honest conversation. Who was missing from these talks? William and Kate. And why? Because they were reportedly asked not to attend. Because... Let that sink in. You know what that means? It means the focus was on healing, not on controlling narratives or leaking every detail to the Daily Mail. We also learn that King Charles's communications secretary met with Meghan and Harry's top people. Folks, this is big. This shows that Harry still believes in the power of dialogue. Despite everything he's been through, he still offers an olive branch. And yet, what do we hear from William's camp? Silence and skepticism. Let me tell you, if you truly want reconciliation, you don't ghost your brother's peace talks. You show up, you listen, you open your heart. But no, instead we get these petty leaks. The fact that it ended up in the newspapers tells you all you need to know. Oh please, we've heard that song before. They accuse Harry and Meghan of wanting revenge, but let's unpack what revenge looks like to them. Is it revenge when you speak your truth in a globally watched interview? Is it revenge when you refuse to be a silent puppet? Is it revenge when you protect your wife and children from an abusive press? Because if that's revenge, then give me a front row seat. Harry has always put his family first. He has always sought to protect Meghan, Archie and Lilibet. And let's not forget, this is the same Harry who walked behind his mother's coffin at age 12, forced into a role that no child should ever have to bear. This is the same Harry who watched his wife endure death threats and hateful headlines while certain members of the family sat comfortably in palaces. And don't get me started on Meghan. Oh, Meghan, a powerhouse, a self-made woman, someone who turned away from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood for a life of service, only to be rejected and vilified. Yet she rises every single day with grace, compassion and that unstoppable spirit. When Wilson talks about Harry having a gnawing inferiority complex, he reveals more about the establishment's mindset than about Harry himself. This institution survives on hierarchy, on pushing people down to keep the air on top. But Harry said, "Not today, Satan." He refused to be the spare in every sense. Meghan didn't break that family. The family broke itself. All Meghan did was love Harry and help him find the courage to step into the light. And now they want to blame her for all the cracks that were already there? Ridiculous. When Wilson warns of a potential republic, he's basically admitting that Harry has the power to speak directly to the people, to billions around the world. You know why? Because people listen when you're authentic. They listen when you speak from the heart. And that terrifies the monarchy. Harry and Meghan embody a new era of leadership, one that's rooted in empathy, honesty and transparency. They're not perfect, but they are real. They're not playing palace games, they're building a real life, raising their beautiful kids, creating impactful media and using their platform for good. And guess what? We see you, Harry. We see you, Meghan. We see your love. We see your sacrifices. We see your wins. We stand with you and will always stand with you. To those in the media still clinging to the old playbook, it's over. The world has changed. People want leaders who feel real, who inspire us, who make us think about the world differently. And Harry and Meghan are doing just that. The monarchy should be thanking them for modernising its image, for showing that there is another way. But instead it chooses to cling to outdated protocols, to smear campaigns, and to cheap tabloid tricks. So yes, Wilson is right about one thing. Harry does have the power to bring change, but rather than fearing that change, perhaps it's time for the institution to reflect on why that change is needed in the first place. And to those who claim Harry and Meghan are irrelevant, let me ask you, why do you keep writing about them every single day? Why do their names dominate every headline? Why do you keep trying to tear them down if they're so irrelevant? The answer is simple: because they matter, because they're loved, because they represent hope. My beautiful squad, as we close today's deep dive, remember this. Harry and Meghan chose love over duty. They chose authenticity over lies. They chose each other and they chose their children. And for that, they deserve nothing but respect and admiration. I want each and every one of you to stand tall today, knowing that you're supporting a couple who are changing the world one act of kindness, one honest interview, one inspiring speech at a time. Prince William and Harry's feud could spark process leading to a republic, as spurned Duke May, cause incalculable damage. Ex-representatives of King Charles and the Duke of Sussex have recently engaged in peace talks. A prominent royal expert has issued a stark warning about the future of the monarchy, claiming that the ongoing rift between Prince William and Prince Harry could cause incalculable damage to the institution. Andrew Norman Wilson argued that reconciliation between the brothers is essential before William ascends to the throne. Wilson's assessment carries a particularly grave warning about the constitutional implications of the brothers' estrangement. It's no exaggeration to say that this row could one day begin the process that leads to a republic. And that could come much sooner than we royalists might like to admit, he warned. A royal expert has issued a grave verdict on the royal family's future. If the rift between Harry and William is not healed, Wilson argued, when Charles vacates the stage, as one day he must, and William is anointed, a middle-aged brother in exile, on non-speakers with the sovereign, but with a potential audience of billions, could do incalculable damage. The newspaper columnist suggested that without peace between the siblings, tensions will escalate significantly during William's eventual reign. He believed that Harry, with his global platform and massive audience reach, could pose a significant threat to the monarchy's stability if he remains alienated from his brother. To that end, he feared that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex might seethe and seek revenge if William were to avoid making peace with his younger brother. In his analysis, Wilson acknowledges the deep-rooted nature of the brothers' difficulties, noting they stem from shared childhood trauma. This was a pair of brothers who, from earliest childhood, were facing the broken marriage of their parents, their mother's untimely death, unfounded and scurrilous speculation about Harry's paternity, and generally a gnawing inferiority complex on Harry's part, some of it understandable. Who wouldn't feel inferior, after all, to the heir to throne? Wilson reckoned when writing for the Daily Mail. All those who have William's best interests at heart, and this must include everyone who wants a bright future for the monarchy, must be begging him to extend some kind of olive branch to his wayward, disloyal and maddening younger sibling. He wrote relations between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the royal family soured after they dramatically quit royal duties in 2020, relocating to California. Since then, the couple have pursued television work, including a major Netflix deal, and Harry released his controversial memoir, Spare, which only intensified tensions between the brothers. Amid the tension, representatives from King Charles and Prince Harry met in London for apparent peace talks on Sunday. King Charles's Communications Secretary, Tobin Andrea, sat down with Meredith Maines, Harry and Meghan's Chief Communications Officer, and Liam Maguire, their British Public Relations Chief. The summit was held at Royal Overseas League, a short distance from the King's London residence of Clarence House. However, nobody from William and Kate's team was present at the sit-down after they were reportedly asked not to attend. It's no coincidence that William and Catherine did not have a representative at the Royal Overseas League, a friend of the royal revealed. The insider explained, "They were not asked to send anyone and will be treating the talks with extreme caution." The fact that it ended up in the newspapers tells you all you need to know, the friend told the Mail. And if you believe in truth, in love, in family, and in standing up against toxicity, then you're in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss a chance to stand up for our faves. And if you want to show extra love, please consider dropping a super thanks. It helps us keep this beautiful community going strong. I love you all so much. Keep shining, keep loving, and always remember Harry and Meghan didn't leave the monarchy. The monarchy left them. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, stay blessed, stay strong, and stay Sussex Squad proud.